And now to finish up Tuesday night's taping this week, let's zip it up. Race number 8. Race number 8 will feature the Dazzling Aces, John Miller and Fred Harrison against the Colt Go-Getters 2.0. That is Mickey Nelson and Rusty Instant Replay Jackington. Both teams currently sit at 4-3. I know they're both going to finish exactly at 500, but which team is going to finish above 500? There's only one way to find out. Best of luck to these next two teams, and let's rock this place! Alright, so these two teams fight to stay alive for one more season, come back for one more season, and it looks like John Miller of the Dazzling Aces is with us. That means the Go-Getters 2.0 will have a 2-1 opening edge, upper hand advantage. But we'll soon find out which one, if it will pay off or not in the early one. Right now on the free Chao eat the food, and there goes both members of the Go-Getters 2.0 along with Fred Harrison of the Dazzling Aces. They are making their way towards the bridges, and it looks like Fred Harrison and Mickey Nelson are heading for the water as Fred Harrison wins the opening toss as he and Mickey Nelson fly towards the water. And right now it is John Miller who is getting left behind, and number 7 is with us. So he's better to join John Miller for the and numbers 1 and 8 are also going to join them for the as number 8, who desperately needs to catch up every now and then, takes Beavis number 2 in this race. Mickey Nelson is co-leading over his partner, Rusty Instant Replay Jackington. They're sitting in first and second places respectively, as we head back into number 8. That's a little bit more help that time for number 8. And right now it is number 1 as we approach the 1 minute mark, who is getting left behind, and number 7 passes more, so he will drop down in the last place as the next PS will be made by John Miller of the Dazzling Aces. Right now it is Mickey Nelson who is battling with Fred Harrison. Now Fred Harrison will have to push the battle with Mickey Nelson because Rusty Jackington went to rest. So it's Mickey Nelson versus Fred Harrison up in the front. And who will get the next command PS? It's Rusty Instant Replay Jackington. Now trying to catch up in fairways. Horn number 7 and 8 meanwhile are battling for delight. They're getting left behind on the others. And number 1 pauses for 1. So he will join number 7 and 8 for 2 life all the way back. I think one of them should be able to get the next command PS. And that next PS will be made by number 7. So he will lead numbers 1 and 8 in the dust for a while. Meanwhile, up at the front, Mickey Nelson and Fred Harrison are battling for the lead. Rusty Instant Replay Jackington not too far behind in third place. Which team is going to prove about 500? We'll find out soon enough. As Mickey Nelson takes the next command FPS, trying to take the lead away from Rusty, Fred Harrison and the Dazzling Aces. Mickey Nelson trying to defend the lead over Fred Harrison as the two try to make their way towards home stretch. Who's going to win? We'll find out soon enough. Next PS belongs to John Miller of the Dazzling Aces. That makes his second speed bus race, but it looks like he'll have to settle for 504 this year. Mickey Nelson and Rusty Instant Replay Jackington are going to finish at 5-3 this season. As number 2 takes the next command PS, trying to stay alive in the game. You get Tommy 1 off for the Go-Getters 2.0. Mickey Nelson holds off Fred Harrison for the victory. So they finish above 500 at 5-3. Great job by these teams. They've done very well indeed. And John Miller will get the last PS, sad of a loss, but they'll still finish exactly at 500 with 4 wins and 4 losses. The Go-Getters 2.0 finish at 5 wins and 3 losses. That's right, and we'll present the next part of our taping process after we hear word from this.